That's the only thing they've ever said.
Yeah.
They don't have to say it.
Sure. Let's go.
You're an architect? Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would any of the developers, local developers like Tommy Spinoza, Richard Carmouche, or Good Day, spend $40 million to do site work?
Yes.
I know several of them personally.
I mean, I'm a real estate attorney, and some of those people are my clients. So
Okay, but where would they spend $40 million? What
do-
kind of site would they prepare?
wouldn't pay it.
How many thousand acres would they spend?
You know about the troublemakers back there?
No.
Have any of them on anything to say about that?
I know one of those people personally.
Okay.
I wouldn't put words in his mouth.
All right.
I know what I would do as a developer. I know what I would advise my client if somebody said you need to go find 40 million. What I would tell them, I'd say this may not be where you want to be.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm not going to put words in those gentlemen's mouths.
And that's what she's doing.
Outside of any of those gentlemen, do you know any developer that's ever been in business?
I have
successful, $40 million to fill a hole on the other side of the river?
I've literally had developers screaming on the telephone over paying for one additional catch basin.
There you go. So the guys know how to spend the money and ask you.
Here again, I'm not here to put words in their mouth. I'm not here to tell you what Mr. Carmouche, what Mike Walpole would do. I don't know them personally. I know one of them personally, but I can't speak for them and what they would do in this situation.
Didn't the casinos invest a substantial amount of money right there on the river to put the casinos in?
Beg pardon?
The casinos invested a substantial amount of money for their operation.
Correct. And if you look at where that casino is, and remember the history of where that casino is and how it came down to be, why it is there and not closer to downtown. For those of you who remember, what was the guy's name? The architect who ended up. Pardon? Pete Clements worked heavily. I'm sorry, that was before I came back to town. Pete Clements worked heavily on getting those things in, and one of the reasons that they had a problem is because of the railroad in that area.
Well, didn't the railroad soften their position and allow them to put in an underpass? Grant them right away for access?
They have made some verbal commitments, but there's nothing written down. We will allow this to happen, as far as I understand.
It's under construction.
Right. Well, there is going to be an underpass for the Hollywood Casino.
For the casino.
And the plan.
It's a public
Let me-
right-of-way.
Is it going to be a public runway, or do they
Yes.
need
Yes.
a?
Yes.
permission from Hollywood?
At the casinos,
It has to be.
It's being
a
split
public
between the
egress.
casino and that new development that's going next to the casino.
Just when you
Yeah,
do
it's next to
casino.
the casino.
This gentleman has been raising his hand and been very patient. I know you're in opposition, but I think you're...
And look, first of all, I support absolutely what's happening here tonight. I have so much respect for what you guys are doing, and getting factual information out there is critical. I've been to about 20 public meetings. You're not alone. There's certainly a lot of folks with a lot of questions, so I apologize if the mayor's office had an invitation to provide some factual answers to you tonight and didn't accept it. What I will say on Alive, and I'll do this very briefly, is that I know Alive is a significant point, and it is my opinion as a supporter that Dr. Jim Richardson's study, which was then peer reviewed by a UNO economist, Jim Richardson, of course, is a state economist, has provided a methodology that, as a business person, I can believe in. My name is Jamie Griffin, and I own a local business called Actualized Services that does consulting. Has provided an opinion that with 600,000 visitors, which he believes is conservative, drawing mainly, but which is fine, 600,000 visitors, which he believes is conservative, mainly from a 150-mile area, we can create 10,000 permanent jobs in 4 years and 23,000 permanent jobs in 10 years. So Alive really is, the genesis of Alive is that when the mayor, Colden, came into office, he commissioned a group to look at our river. As a mid-sized community on the Mississippi River, we're one of the few folks who have not developed it, largely because of railroad issues. They came up with a $300 million project that generates no jobs, if you remember that. It was beautiful to look at, but probably not the best investment for our community.
Are you talking about Soda Park?
No. This was the large bar.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I was involved with the Soda Park, and it was not...
Yeah, there's a river development that was sort of went through DDD.
Right.
That was $300 million to do, and we would never find the money for that. Audubon Institute, following Katrina, comes in, meets with the Area Foundation, and invested dollars to program something that would generate jobs and generate economic impact. And that's where Alive came out. And then the money Fred Dent was talking about that was spent out of state was spent with a company called Think Design and a few other designers. Think Design, who developed Alive, is designing the 9/11 museum in New York City. Think Design, who designed this project with input from people in the community and focus groups, designed an amazing attraction in Southern California, which gets millions of visitors. So, look, my opinion is that I'm supporting that economic driver. The questions on land.
Let the gentleman speak. Let the gentleman speak.
If you guys don't mind, we're gonna let them finish because
How about us who've been waiting all this time, other people being around?
I guarantee you, you'll be the next person I ask.
Good.
So I'll just end with two things. Land ownership is not, there's not a land ownership question, there's a right-of-way question, which was negotiated under Mark Drennan, under Foster. It was not signed under the Blanco administration. I will tell you today, even though I understand that gives you no solace, the mayor's office has commented at the League of Women Voters and in other public forums that they are currently negotiating a memorandum of understanding for that site. One, access rough land, there's no intent to remove that railroad. It's never going to happen. We all know how railroads work. What I will tell you, we've got 2 casinos across the railroad, we've got Paperclip across the railroad, we've got USS Kittick across the railroad. We can get under railroad. We already are building an underpass under the railroad. It is a public right of way. It has a public road to our site. So I would stress to you that finding factual information is key. If you have an opportunity to attend a public meeting and ask this of the administration, please do so. There are a number of them out there. We can send all of them to you, Dwight. You can get them from Anita at Mike Burchell's office. It's just really important that you have factual information. And I understand even that may not change your mind, and it shouldn't. In my opinion, shouldn't. But going to the vote and voting yes or no on good information on November 14th or in early voting between October 31st and November 7th is critical to the democratic process, which we don't participate on the federal level when they tell us you go and pay taxes because of our whim. Here, you actually decide you are going to tax yourselves. And so it is critical that we take this opportunity.
All right, thank you. We're going to go ahead.